Okay, so AI is like the hot topic right now.
Wow.
um,
Yeah.
it seems like every time there's some big breakthrough, like when that computer Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov at chess, everyone like freaks out.
Right.
Like robots are gonna take over.
Yeah.
But what if we're thinking about this all wrong? So today we are gonna deep dive into why AI might not be the job-stealing like apocalypse that everyone's so afraid of.
Right.
And we've got like two really cool sources for this.
Okay.
First, there's this article from Forbes,
Interesting.
and it's arguing that human skills are actually becoming more valuable,
Oh, wow.
like in the age of AI.
Really?
Yeah. And then we're gonna look at this technical research paper
Okay.
on something called like emotional rag.
Emotional what?
Yeah, it's a weird name, but I promise it'll make sense later.
Okay.
But it's basically all about making these AI chatbots more convincing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like by incorporating emotional responses. And the really cool thing is like how this research actually supports the whole idea that human skills are irreplaceable.
So it's like, even when they're trying to make AI more human,
Yeah,
it's still highlighting the things that make us human that are unique and valuable.
exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's start with that Forbes article.
Okay.
Basically, it's saying that AI is amazing at all the stuff that like humans find super boring.
Oh, yeah, I can get behind that.
Right, like crunching numbers and recognizing patterns and all that.
Totally.
But AI is like missing this key ingredient.
Nuance.
Nuance.
Yeah.
Like the author uses this great example
Okay.
of a self-driving car that can navigate perfectly fine,
Right.
but it can't understand like why a child might suddenly run into the street.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just not thinking about those things.
It doesn't have that context like we do.
It's not just processing the data.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the why behind the data.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Forbes article calls this reading between the lines.
Okay.
Like humans, we do it naturally without even thinking about it.
Right.
But for AI, it's like a huge challenge.
Oh, yeah, totally. And that makes me think of all the times I've gotten so frustrated with chatbots. Like, they just don't get it.
Right.
Like, you're trying to explain something, and it's just giving you these canned responses.
They just don't have that emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Like the article talks about qualities like empathy, creativity,
Yeah.
critical thinking, and those are what set us apart from AI.
I mean, it makes sense.
Right.
Those are the things that let us, like, innovate and build relationships and just figure out all these complicated situations
It's
where
so
there's
true.
no easy answer.
And AI can't do that.
Right. So it's not about being replaced by AI. It's more about, like, working with it.
Right.
Like having this super-powered assistant that can handle all the boring stuff.
Right.
So that we're freed up to focus on the things that, like, really require those human abilities.
And I think that's a really crucial point that the article brings up.
Okay.
That AI isn't necessarily taking away opportunities,
Yeah.
but it's creating new ones.
Okay.
Especially for people who can use both human and artificial intelligence effectively.
So instead of, like, being afraid of AI, we should be looking at it as, like, a tool to, like, enhance our own capabilities.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the strengths of each.
Yeah.
And finding ways to combine them.
Right.
To achieve something really amazing.
I like that.
Like the article gives this example of AI being used in healthcare
Okay.
to analyze tons of data
Right.
and identify potential health risks.
Uh-huh.
But it's still a human doctor
Yeah.
who uses their expertise and judgment to make the final call.
Right. Like the diagnosis and treatment plan and all that.
That's a perfect example of how AI can augment human capabilities
Yeah.
without actually replacing humans altogether.
Yeah. It's about collaboration, not competition.
Right.
I like that.
And honestly, I think that's a way more empowering way to think about the future of work.
Okay.
Instead of just being afraid of losing our jobs,
Yeah.
we should be focusing on what skills we can develop
Right.
that'll make us valuable.
Like indispensable.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this like AI-driven world that's coming.
Okay.
So what are some of those key skills?
Well, the article highlights things like critical thinking
Okay.
and creativity and complex problem solving,
Oh, okay.
like being able to think outside the box,
Yeah.
come up with new and innovative solutions,
Right.
and adapt to new situations.
Which makes sense because those are all the things that AI is not good at.
Exactly.
Like AI can follow instructions,
Uh-huh.
execute these like pre-programmed tasks.
Right.
But when it comes to like new situations
Yeah.
where you need flexibility and like ingenuity.
And I just can't keep up.
So it's about leaning into those like human strengths
Yeah.
that AI can't replicate.
Like the things that make us different.
Yeah.
Not trying to compete with machines.
On their own terms.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about how AI has its limitations.
Right.
That human skills are still really important.
Okay.
And that the key is to partner with AI instead of being scared of it.
I think that's a great place to start.
But I want to bring in that research paper we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
You know, the one on emotional RAG?
Oh, yeah, the weird one?
Yeah, so this might seem a little random.
Okay.
But I promise it's all connected to what we're talking about.
I'm intrigued.
It actually strengthens this whole argument that human skills are even more valuable than we realize.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So before we get into it,
Okay.
can you explain what a RAG system even is?
Sure.
And how this whole emotional thing changes it?
Yeah, so RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Oh, wow, that's a mouthful.
I know, right?
So what does that even mean?
It's basically a fancy way of saying it's a type of AI that uses information retrieval
Okay.
to get better at generating text.
Okay, so like a chat bot,
Yeah,
but smarter.
exactly. Imagine a chatbot that has access to this huge database of information.
Okay.
So it can answer your questions more accurately and in more detail.
So it's like a chat bot with a supercharged memory.
Right. Now, the emotional part is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Researchers are trying to make these artist systems more convincing
Uh-huh.
and engaging
Okay.
by adding emotional responses to how they interact with us.
Oh, so it's they're trying to make the AI seem more human.
Exactly.
But wouldn't that make AI even more likely to replace us?
That's what's so fascinating about this research.
Okay.
In order to program AI to understand our emotions and respond to them in a way that feels natural,
Right.
they have to use things that are inherently human,
Okay, like what?
like our psychology, our social cues, the way our emotions affect our memories and decisions.
So even when they're trying to make AI more human,
Yeah,
they're still using those human qualities as their foundation.
exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And to me, that's really reassuring.
Okay.
It means that even as we create more advanced AI,
Yeah.
those human qualities are going to stay important.
Valuable and sought after.
Exactly.
It's they're acknowledging that human emotion is so powerful,
Yeah.
so fundamental to how we communicate and connect with each other,
Uh-huh.
that they have to add it to AI to make it work properly.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before.
About.
AI augmenting human capabilities, not replacing them.
Right.
It's this research is saying that AI needs human insights to actually be successful.
I agree with that.
Okay, so this whole emotional RJAG thing,
Yeah.
it's super interesting on its own,
Uh-huh.
but it also brings up some big questions about the future of AI
Okay.
and its relationship with humans.
Yeah, will AI ever actually understand and experience emotions like we do?
That's a huge question.
Yeah.
Philosophers and scientists have been debating that for years.
Right.
And this research is about making AI more believable when it talks to us.
Uh-huh.
But it does make you think about the possibility of AI actually having real emotions.
Which is a whole other conversation.
Or, would we treat AI differently if it could feel joy or sadness or even empathy?
That's a mind-blowing thought.
Yeah, and it's something we might have to think about sooner than we think.
Maybe.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we have.
AI's limitations, the fact that human skills are still super important,
Uh-huh.
and that we should be working with AI, not being afraid of it.
Right.
But we haven't talked about the big one yet,
What's that?
jobs.
Ah, yeah, the big question.
Everyone's worried about AI taking over jobs.
It's a valid concern.
And even though that Forbes article said that AI will create more jobs than it destroys,
Okay.
it's still something we need to talk about.
Right.
So what does this research on emotional RAG tell us about that?
Does it make job displacement more or less likely?
Well, it's complicated. Well, it's complicated, but I don't think it's a simple yes or no answer.
Okay, so let's break it down.
All right, so imagine you're talking to a chatbot
Okay.
about booking a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
A regular chatbot would probably just give you a list of options.
Right, based on what you searched for.
Exactly. But an emotional RV system
Yeah.
could actually analyze how you're talking,
Okay.
your tone of voice and stuff.
To figure out if you're excited or frustrated?
Exactly. If it senses you're hesitant, it might suggest different options.
Oh, okay.
Or try to reassure you that you're making the right choice.
Interesting.
Or if you seem stressed out,
Yeah.
it might change how it's talking to you
Oh, okay.
to be more calming and understanding.
So it's not just about giving information.
Right.
It's about making the whole experience feel more personalized.
Yeah,
And like emotionally intelligent.
exactly. And that's where the human element comes in.
Okay. How
Yeah.
so? Well, the researchers have to actually teach these AI systems
Yeah.
how to recognize those subtle emotional cues.
The things that we just like naturally pick up on as humans.
Right. Which is honestly a pretty difficult task.
Yeah, I mean, human emotions are complicated.
They really are. And that's what makes this research so fascinating.
Okay.
It shows just how hard it is to try to copy something as nuanced as human emotion.
Into an AI.
Yeah, like the researchers have to think about all these things.
Like what?
Like how our emotions affect our memories,
Uh-huh.
how they influence our decisions,
Okay.
and how different cultures express emotions differently.
So even though they're trying to build AI that can understand and respond to our emotions,
Yeah.
they're still using those human qualities as the basis for the whole thing.
Exactly, and that's what I find so reassuring about all of this.
Okay.
It suggests that no matter how advanced AI gets,
Yeah.
those human qualities are still going to be valuable.
Like, we're still going to need those things. It's like the researchers are saying, hey, human emotion is so powerful,
Uh-huh.
so important for how we communicate and connect, that we need to build it into AI to make it truly effective.
I think that's a really interesting way to look at it.
And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
About AI augmenting human capabilities.
Yeah, not replacing them.
It seems like AI needs human insights to really reach its full potential.
I agree with that. So this whole emotional rage research,
Yeah.
super interesting stuff.
It is.
But it also raises some really interesting questions
Okay.
about the future of AI and
Right.
how it'll interact with us humans.
Like, will we ever reach a point where AI can actually feel emotions?
Whoa.
Like the way we do?
That's a big question.
Man,
One that people have been debating for a long time.
Definitely.
I mean, this research is about making AI seem more convincing
Right.
when it talks to us.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder if AI could actually develop real emotion.
And what would that even mean for us?
Yeah. Exactly. Like, how would we treat AI if it could feel joy or sadness?
Our empathy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing to think about.
And it might be something we need to figure out sooner than we think.
You might be right about that.
Okay, so we've talked about AI's limitations,
Mhm.
how human skills are still important,
Yeah.
and that the best way forward is to work with AI, not be afraid of it.
I think that's a good summary.
But this deep dive wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk about the big elephant in the room.
Which is
Yeah.
jobs.
Ah, yes, the thing everyone's worried about.
Right. Like, is AI going to take all our jobs?
It's a real concern for a lot of people.
And while that Forbes article we talked about said that AI will create more jobs than it eliminates,
Mm-hmm.
it's still a valid concern.
Yeah.
So what does this research on emotional argon tell us about the future of work? Does it make it more or less likely that jobs will be replaced by AI?
I think this research suggests that we'll probably see both.
Both.
Yeah, like some jobs will definitely be automated.
And maybe even disappear completely.
Right.
But AI is also going to create new jobs.
That we can't even imagine right now.
Exactly. It's more about like evolution
Okay.
than just straight up replacement.
So it's not as simple as like robots taking over everything.
Right. It's more nuanced than that.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better.
It's kind of like how the internet changed everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, remember back in the day,
Yeah.
before the internet was everywhere?
Like the Stone Ages.
All right. And some jobs totally disappeared because of the internet,
Okay.
but it also created a ton of new jobs.
That no one had even thought of before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, think about all the jobs in e-commerce,
Mm-hmm.
social media, digital marketing.
Right. All those jobs didn't even exist before.
It's not about holding on to the past.
Yeah.
It's about being ready for the future.
Adapting.
Exactly. And that means focusing on skills that AI can't do.
Okay. Like what?
Things that need human creativity
Yeah.
and empathy and critical thinking.
Those uniquely human things. So for our listener out there
Yeah.
who might be feeling a little nervous about all this,
Understandable.
what's the big takeaway?
How can they get ready for this future with all this AI stuff happening?
What should they do?
Honestly, I think the most important thing is just stay curious
Okay.
and be adaptable.
Like, be open to new things.
Yeah. Embrace lifelong learning,
Mm-hmm.
explore different fields,
Okay.
and don't be scared to try new things.
So basically be a lifelong learner.
Exactly. The jobs of the future are going to need people who are flexible,
Yeah.
creative,
Huh?
and ready for anything.
And willing to embrace change.
That's a good way to put it.
So it's not about trying to beat AI at its own game.
Right.
It's about finding ways to work with it.
Yeah. Using AI's strengths
Uh-huh.
while also developing our own.
I like that.
And remember, the future isn't set in stone.
Oh, okay.
We're all creating it together.
Oh, wow.
So the decisions we make today
Yeah.
are going to shape what the world looks like tomorrow.
That's a powerful thought.
It's not about just sitting back and seeing what happens.
Right.
It's about actively making the future we want.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today.
We have.
We talked about the relationship between AI and humans, busted some myths about AI,
Right.
and hopefully helped our listener understand what the future might look like.
And I think we've made a strong case
Yeah.
for the importance of human skills
Yeah.
and how crucial it is to be adaptable.
Especially in a world that's changing so fast.
Exactly.
So to our listener out there,
Yeah.
don't be afraid of the future.
Embrace it.
Embrace all the amazing things AI can do,
Mhm.
but never forget what makes you human.
And all those amazing qualities that you have.
Yeah. Never stop learning, exploring, and growing.
That's what it's all about.
I love that.
Me too.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Sounds good.
Until next time, keep on diving deep.